Namaste and welcome to Brahmanic Astrology channel and welcome to episode number 2 of a live Q&A on Friday evening. If you have any questions, please share them into the comment section. Please confirm audio video. Are you able to hear me? Yes, great. So, have you guys watched the Ketu transit video, Rahu transit video in Aries and Libra? Yes, great. Okay, we'll wait for some people to join in and we'll start our session. Great. Chalo. Okay, if you have any question, you just put them into the comment section, or I will read all the questions and we'll go through all the questions. Okay, and can anybody put a timestamp? That will really help me. Okay, and those who are watching after this session, they will also get benefited with this. Okay, so yes, let's get started. First question is my Capricorn Ascendant. This is from Kavya. My is Capricorn Ascendant with Saturn 21st sitting in the 5th house and Venus of 2 degrees sitting in the 8th house. How will it affect my love life? Okay, for Capricorn Ascendant, Venus is a very good planet. It is ruling the Kendra in the trine. It rules 10th house and the 5th house. Okay, and it being into the 8th house is also the house of your intimate relationships. And when you have Saturn placed into the 5th house, it shows you are intelligent, but you have to you 5th house is the house of love and relationship, love and romance, and Saturn is not a great fan of being romantic. He is more about responsibilities and duties, so you will be dutiful towards your love partner, but at the same time from the 5th house Saturn aspects. Let me just pull this, let me just do this chart, and let me just I'm just sharing the screen. Share the screen with a window here. Now here what I have done is now I'm here you will see a Prashna chart. I have just casted the chart for right now and have made the ascendant as Virgo so that Saturn will come into the 5th house. Okay. Now, when Saturn is in the 5th house, it aspects the 7th house with the 3rd house aspect. It aspects the 11th house with the 7th house aspect, and it aspects the second house with the 10th house aspect. So Saturn in the 5th house aspects all the planets, all the houses which rules the relationship. The 7th house is the house of marriage, 5th house is the house of love and romance, 11th house is house of desires, and second house is the house of family. So when you have so many houses influenced under the Saturn, it shows responsibility towards your partner. Okay, and it oftentimes also delays the relationship in one's life. You will oftentimes see that you are getting married late. Okay, but don't get scared of Venus in the 8th house. Venus in the 8th house, in fact, is a very good combination. Okay, Venus in the 8th house will help you to, 8th house is the house of your sexual relationships as well. So Venus is a karaka of those relationships, so it does well into the 8th house. In fact, I also mentioned this in last couple of videos. I don't remember the exact video, maybe Aquarius Saturn video. I have already mentioned this, that don't get scared of Venus in the 8th and the 12th house, if you guys can remember it. Okay, so this is how you are going to this is how it is going to affect your love life. So it is going to be dutiful love and relationship for you, but it gives you an intelligent partner as well. Now next one is Vinay Joshi. For Gemini Ascendant, Moon, Venus, Mars, Moon, Venus, and Mars in Mars conjunction in the 12th house. How to judge that as far as money related issues are concerned? Because all these planets are in 12th house. Moon's second lord, Venus fifth lord, Mars sixth lord, and 11th house lord. Okay, so let's go and check the Gemini Ascendant. This will be the same. I'm just rotating this chart to Gemini Ascendant. Okay, and now I will see that. Now let me remove this. Okay, so here you will see that I need to read this. Okay, so for Gemini Ascendant, Moon, Venus, Mars conjunction in the 12th house. So when Moon, Venus, and Mars in the 12th house, in fact, whenever I see Venus in the 12th house, is a very good placement. Okay, surprisingly, we got back-to-back questions wherein Venus is in 8th house and Venus is in the 12th house. So yes, Venus, Moon, and Mars conjunction into the 12th house. So Mars in the 12th house makes you take care of your energy. You have to be careful about not to waste your energy. But when it comes to finances, the second lord, the lord of the finances, is going into the 12th house and is getting exalted. Moon in the 12th house for Gemini Ascendant gets exalted. So it's like, the best part about this is, if you look at this, second lord is Moon and is getting exalted into the 12th house. So the second house, the 11th house is 12th house is 11th from the second house, right? And so this is the house of gains, and Moon is getting exalted into this house. So the second lord is getting exalted into the 12th house, shows that you will have gains from the foreign sources. It also shows that you will have gains through some resources far away from places. But at the same time, Moon is the planet of fluctuation. Okay, so you have to be careful about your expenses as well, because 12th house is the house of expenses. Okay, And Venus in the 12th house is, you don't have to think about it, or you don't consider it as bad. It's a very good placement. And now, when these things will get manifested, for that you need to go and check the dasha. Okay, I see this as a good placement because the second lord is getting exalted into the 12th house. The sixth lord, Mars, Venus, Mars is going into the 12th house, creating a Viparit Raj Yoga, right? So the sixth lord, the second lord, and the fifth lord, and the 12th lord itself is in the 12th house. And one, the moon is exalted and Mars is creating this Viparit Raj Yoga. Financially, this is a very good placement. Okay. Oh, let me just go to the next question. Arpita Mandalji, thank you for this live session. Will Sagittarius Ascendant Capricorn Moon natives get married this year if Rahu Mahadasha Venus antardasha is going on in a horoscope? Yes, most definitely. I'm a Leo Ascendant with Saturn and Jupiter retro in the 10th house in Taurus Nakshatra of Kritika. Jupiter in 4th pada and Saturn in the pada second. Can this cause problems in career? Rahu in the 11th house, Punarvasu. No. When in fact the Saturn in the 10th house is a very good placement because the planet of karma comes into the house of career. Career is what? Career is what you do. That's a karma, right? So it's a very good placement. But always remember, whenever you have a placement or conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, don't just consider this as any other conjunction. This is a special conjunction. Why this is a special conjunction? Because if you look at the dasha sequence, the dasha of the Jupiter is followed by the dasha of the Saturn. Okay, so the condition of these planets is going to bring in a lot of uh, deeper impact into person's life for a longer period of time because they have back-to-back dashas as well. Okay, so these two planets conjunct into the Kendra for you is a very good placement for you. Okay, but also check the placement of Mars because for Leo Ascendant, Mars is a Yoga Karaka planet. Its association with the 10th house, 10th lord, or ascendant will definitely give you strength to get ahead in life. Yes, Rahu transits through Aries over Mars for Aries Ascendant. Yeah, it is going to bring in the it is going to bring in abundant energy into that house. Okay, you have to handle that energy with care. Manohar Siddhar, why do astrologers interpret charts differently? Yes, this is a very good question. You know, there are few limitations to astrology. What is the biggest limitation of an astrology? The biggest limitation of astrology is astrologer. Okay, why? Because I'm a human being. I have some level of intelligence, some level of intuition, some level of hard work, and the collective impact of that is the way I read the chart, the way I look at the chart, right? Now everybody is having a different mind. If you have some people are comfortable with the South Indian chart, some are comfortable with the North Indian chart. That also depends on which planet is stronger in your chart. Okay, coming back to your question, why do astrologers interpret charts differently? Because of the limitation of the knowledge. Okay, some of the legendary astrologers will only look at your chart and can tell you a lot more in detail about the events happening in your chart, or everything. And some of the astrologers may not be able to do it. Okay, this is the difference of practice, intuition, and the limitation of that astrologer. But astrology has no limitation. Everything is already there. Okay, it's just the limitation on the part of astrologer which really restricts the astrology in getting the results. Okay, that's why everybody is different. That's why they interpret it differently. It's like an art. Okay, it's more like an intuitive art wherein some of the people will get attracted towards some aspects of the chart, and they will, the chart will start talking to them. Okay, but this is a very good question. To deal with this, you should always think about it as an art. Okay, so for any time when you have to get a good result, you should have a faith. You should have a trust into that astrologer that you will get the guidance. And for that, you need to have an interaction with them, and you should look at their work and so on. And then once you decide that, then you don't have to go to any other astrologer. You should not visit 100 astrologers. You should visit only one, and that too not quite often. You should visit astrologer maybe once or twice an year, not more than that, and that too the one astrologer which you believe in. Okay, uh, going to all the astrologers, taking your chart, really disturbs the energy of your chart. Okay, but this is a very good question. I used to have this question when I started into Vedic astrology when I was a kid, and when I used to look at all these things. If the rules are same, if the rules of the sutras are the same, why everybody interprets it differently, right? uh, Here I remember the Gemini Sutras. Gemini Sutras are extremely simple sutras, but yet each one of the astrologer uh, interprets it differently. You know, you will see that in a Gemini Sutra there is one concept called as Upapada. Okay, and this is Upapada is Upa literally means close, or the second highest rank, right? So this is how the way you look at the chart, right? Some of the astrologers look at it as a close one, Upapada, or some of the astrologers consider it as the second highest rank, and so on. This is just a one example I could think of. But yes, this is what makes the difference in the person's ability to comprehend makes the difference in the interpretation of an astrologer to interpret the chart. Manorji, thank you for asking this question. You are precious. Next is, I will I will put timestamps. Yes, thank you, Tina ji. It really helps. Seashells. Hi, sir. A Leo ascendant. Any chance to get married at 44 by Saturn transit? I'm running Budh Mahadasha. I don't know. Okay. I need to know your chart, the seventh lord, Dara Karaka, moon, and the condition of the Buddha, the Mercury in your chart, and so on. Okay. But you should go and check out my video on Dara Karaka, or the timing of marriage or late marriage video. It will really help you. Okay. Next question. Let's move on to the next question. Okay. Can you please say about Saturn in the sixth house retrograde in Revati Nakshatra? Okay. So, do you have any specific question around it? Because sixth house Saturn uh, is a very good placement. Okay. Arnab Roy is asking, can you just say about Saturn in the sixth house retrograde? Sixth house Saturn makes you work from sixth house, let me just see if I can share the screen. Okay, let me just put it. Okay, so this is how. Right. So imagine the sixth house, uh, Saturn. Okay, this is not in Revati Nakshatra, but just to give you an idea about the placement, I have casted this chart. Okay, I'm casting this chart and just changing it according to the people's ascendant, and so that it will be easy for other people to visualize what we are discussing here. Okay, so Saturn in the sixth house, in the Revati Nakshatra, into the Revati Nakshatra, into the 12th, into the sixth house. Sixth house Saturn is aspecting the 8th, 12th, and third house, three of the most Maraka houses, and is subsiding it, is putting pressure on those houses and sitting in the sixth house itself. So it's a very good placement. And the Revati Nakshatra is a nakshatra which has a deity of Pushan. Okay, uh, which is a conveyor of our self into the other world. Okay, who is a seller who takes us into the other world without karma. And Saturn is pretty much concerned with the karma. Okay, and sixth house is a house of continuous efforts. Okay, so Saturn in the sixth house, and when it is retrograde, it shows continuous improvements in yourself. It might be improvements related to your health as well, because sixth house is the house of your diseases, and now Saturn is auditing this house and bringing in the necessary changes into it. Okay, I hope this has helped you. Preston Justin, hi. What would an empty 8th house in Taurus indicate? Venus placed in the 4th house in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, when you say Taurus, you mean, just a second. Okay, let me just share the screen window. Okay, so when you have a Taurus ascendant, when you have Libra ascendant, and in the 4th house you have Venus is placed into the 4th house, and uh, 8th house is empty. The 8th lord into the 4th house. In fact, it's a very good combination, because these two are the houses with the same uh, element, and the same with the same motive of action. 4th house is the house of moksha. 8th house is also the house of moksha. It's a moksha trine, 4, 8, and 12. So the 8th lord going into the 4th house, both these houses are about the uh, about the darkness. 4th house is also the house of emotions. Now, when Venus comes in here, and just check the nakshatra, if it is Shravana nakshatra, it shows that you will have to listen to your mentors, to your gurus. Okay, because Shravana literally means to listen to. Okay, and 8th lord going into the 4th house shows that you will have strength of the emotion. You will be secretive person. Okay, it will also help you to get ahead in life because of the Capricorn energy. Okay, and it also means that the first lord is getting into the 4th house for you, which is also a very good placement for the ascendant lord. I hope this has helped you. And being empty doesn't really mean, in fact, when an house is empty, it becomes strong. What? Yes. When you have an empty house, when you have a house and it has some planets into it, you have to consider one more layer of it, right? But when the house is empty, it's the pure house that we judge during the transit, and then that house becomes extremely powerful. That's the power of empty house. So don't think that, oh, it's empty house, so I don't need to consider that. No, check the lord, check the aspects, and then it will reveal its secrets to you and will really help you. Okay, so we stop this here. Hi, I just lost my job. Will I have a chance soon? Ascendant Gemini, Moon, Ketu in Aquarius, Jupiter in Leo with Mars. Brando, I don't know your chart, so I can't really uh, comment on that. But I will pray for you that you will get jobs soon. But if you want to get this analysis, just email me back or DM me on Instagram. I may not be able to respond to you immediately, but I will definitely share my feedback with you. Okay, right now I can't say anything because I'm not able to visualize it, but most definitely I will pray for you so that you have that blessings to get that new job. Okay, praying for you, my friend. Devadatta, Sagittarius ascendant and Jupiter in the eighth house, that is Cancer. Excellent. It gets exalted, and now it is also ruling the uh, fifth house, and now it is also aspecting the fourth and the 12th house with its fifth and ninth house aspect. Very good placement. Okay, but also check the moon placement because it is into the sign of Cancer, and you have to see the uh, moon's placement as well. Bhavana Dikshit, hello sir. Hello Bhavana ji. UJ, Aquarius ascendant degree, ascendant lord Saturn, Atmakaraka in Capricorn, Sun is the seventh lord Dharakaraka in Aquarius, all in Nakshatra of Dhanishta and Moon in Sagittarius, Uttara. Can an exalted Venus in the second house be good for marriage? Jupiter retro in eighth house, Hasta. I didn't get your question. What do you mean by that? The Venus in the second house of other person or in transit? Or what do you mean by that? Okay, just put that into the question. I will cover it when we will go through this. I'm literally reading each and every comment and reading all those comments. So just be with me. Okay. For Leo Ascendant, what is the result of Jupiter and Ketu in the seventh house? Okay. So when Jupiter and Ketu in the seventh house for Leo Ascendant, it shows that it shows the seventh house. It shows that the Jupiter in the seventh house amplifies things in a way, and it shows that you have some bigger expectations about the house it is placed in. For you, it is placed into this seventh house of marriage and relationship. It shows that you will have some uh, high level of expectations about your partner. Like, who would be your partner? Oh, my partner would be like this, would be like that, and so on. Okay, so you have to put the reality check on your expectations about the partner. And for this, it also shows Rahu is getting into the first house. If you are a man, then it is difficult for you to really understand you who you are. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Kartik Khanna, hello sir. In Libra Ascendant, Mars being second lord and the seventh lord is situated in the 12th house. Jupiter is in second house, Saturn in sixth, and Ketu in seventh. How will it affect the finance and spouse issues? Not really able to visualize it right now. If you have any specific question, please share. I'm not able to visualize it right now. Apologies for that. Shwetaji, Saturn Venus conjunction in 11th house Aries for Gemini Ascendant. Your views, please. Okay. So for this, the most important thing is the Mars, because Saturn is getting debilitated, and more so it is aspecting your ascendant with the third house aspect. Okay. When Saturn is in the 11th house, it aspects the first house. Let me just share the screen and make this as Gemini Ascendant. Makes sense? So now when you have Gemini Ascendant and you have Saturn and Venus placed in there, it shows that Saturn is aspecting the first house as well as the eighth house with its 10th house aspect. Okay, Venus and Saturn are friend, so it shows you will have a balanced and responsible relationship with your friends. Okay, at the same time it also shows you will be well directed, and you will have a disciplined nature, but at the same time it also shows you will lack confidence, because the planet of Saturn is aspecting the first house of yourself, the way you look at the world. Anil Mandavkar, what would be the result of Rahu in the 12th house for Virgo Ascendant? Okay, it shows that you have to work on yourself. It shows you need to develop yourself. Okay, and at the same time, it also shows that you have to reduce your work. Okay, and stay away from smoking. Anilji, do you smoke? Please put that into comment section if it is not, if you want to share it, or you can personally email me your answer. Mangesh K, hi sir, hi Mangesh. Anita Chakravarti, hello sir. Please tell me whether am I a Manglik, when will I get married, and can I make career in IT? My date of birth is 16th November 1992. Let me just put that. 16 November 1992, 9:40 a.m. Mumbai. Okay, so as per the chart, it shows you are Manglik. But one more thing, don't get afraid of being Manglik. I made a video on don't afraid and rise above about the Manglik. Because what is Manglik? Let me just show you these things. Okay, so Manglik is when you have Manglik is when you have Mars in the, let me just remove this and stop sharing. Go in here, new, just cast one more and we'll share it again. Okay, so Manglik is nothing but when you have Mars placed in certain houses which aspects the seventh house. Okay, when Mars is in the 12th house, it aspects the seventh house with its eighth aspect. From the first house, it aspects the seventh house with its seventh aspect. From the fourth house, it aspects the seventh house with its fourth aspect, right? And when Saturn is not Saturn, Mars itself is in the seventh house or the eighth house, right? So these are the 4, 5, 6 placements. So 12 out of 6 houses you become Mangli, right? So you have to understand what is Mangal. The name of the Mangal is Mangal. The name itself is Mangal. What is Mangal? Mangal is good. Mangal is Shubh, right? And that's why Lord Ganesha is also associated with this. But you know, don't get afraid of being Manglik. Okay, just understand the energies and you will deal with it a lot better. And don't get scared with this. And you know, uh, don't think that you're going to die or something like that. Okay, it has nothing to do with you being Manglik. It's a very common yoga. So yes, next one is Arpita Mandalji. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Arpita ji. Vinay Joshi, thank you. So, which is the most important thing in Muhurta? The time, right? There are many aspects to Muhurta. There are combination of Vara, Tithi, Nakshatra, Karan, right? And the combined effect of this is important. I'm just going to the next question. Okay. Okay, let me. I missed it. Oh, did I miss the first question? Who put the first question? Okay. Okay. I'm not able to understand this name. Okay. Hi, Pramanik. I've got a question. Mars and Rahu in Aries sitting in the seventh house. What effect does Rahu have on Mars in this case? Is more kuja dosha or ruchaka yoga? Okay. Thank you. Mars and Rahu sitting in the seventh house. Okay, so for this, okay, I don't know your name, my friend, but Ruchak Yoga is Ruchak Yoga is uh, the condition for the Ruchak Yoga is Mars have to be in the Kendra, that is 1, 4, 7, 10, and Mars has to be in the exaltation sign or its own sign. So Mars should either be in the Capricorn or it should be in Aries or Scorpio in 1, 4, 7, 8. Okay, so Mars and Rahu sitting in Aries in the seventh house, it creates the Ruchak yoga, but at the same time you have to analyze and uh, interpret the quality of the yoga. Okay, I always rely and believe in judging the conjunctions for the quality of the planets involved into it. Okay, let's say you are into Rahu and Mars. Like Mars in the seventh house does create the Ruchak yoga. But now coming in here changed the whole condition of this Ruchak yoga. It becomes more dynamic, okay, and it becomes more karmic because of the involvement of the nodes. And when Rahu and Mars comes in here, it makes you a person who is extremely hardworking and self-reliant. Why? Because now Mars and Rahu are aspecting your ascendant. Okay, so in a way it is a very good placement for your own growth. Okay, so please share your experience around Mars and Rahu, and your feedback as well. Thank you. I missed it because it was put before the stream starts. That's why I missed it. Apologies for that. Now, where I was, I want to go to the next question. Next question is, okay, yes, I was here. UJ, is Kala Sarpa taken from true or mean Rahu Ketu position? It depends on the astrologer who is calculating it. I use the mean positions. Okay. K. Hi, can Cancer Ascendant with chart ruler in 8th house and 5th house Rahu can make a career related in writing and creative field? Yes, if it is associated with Mercury. Mars is in the 3rd house. Yes, thanks for sharing. What is your question around this? I'm Sagittarius Ascendant with Scorpio moon and Ketu in the 10th house. Please advise possibility of promotion in career. It's not possible to analyze it here, but do you have any specific question? Please share. But when it comes to your career, I don't see any problem with this, because when Ketu is connected with the 10th house, it is always about working. Okay, so you will always be busy doing things. Will Rahu Leo hinder government jobs? No, not really. Hi, sir. Mars in the 1st house, Scorpio Ascendant, and Jupiter, Saturn in the 7th. Okay, so what about that? Sir, what would be the result of Moon and Jupiter conjunction in the 5th house, Leo? You mean in the sign of Leo for Aries Ascendant, or for Leo Ascendant into the sign of Sagittarius? Aditi Bankar, is the Shamsha placement is more important than Lagna chart placement for career? Which chart is more important to look career? In the Shamsha, Jupiter is in. See, each plan, each chart is important, but all the Varga charts, no matter how important they are, all the Varga charts are important, but they are derived from the D1, and they show certain areas of your life, right? The Samsha shows your career, what you do in your life, but D1 and D60 are the only two planets, not planet, the only two charts which are covering all aspects of your life. Okay, so don't think that okay, D1 is not important and D10 is important. D10 is important, but it's not the only thing to look out for. Okay, so always focus on D1 as well, because Varga charts are derived from the degrees of the D1 chart. Always remember. Is Manglik dosha effect considered cancelled when someone has exalted Mars into the 7th for Cancer Ascendant? See, as per the rules, it is still the Manglik dosha. Okay, but as I told you, uh, don't just get don't just judge any planet or any horoscope with just one planetary alignment. Let's say you have a Gajakesri Yoga. Oh yes, I have a Raj Yoga, I have a Gajakesri Yoga, now I'll be king. No, what if that Jupiter is debilitated? What if that moon is, waning moon? Things will change, right? As against, let's say you have Jupiter and moon into the sign of Cancer in the 1st house, right? So this is how it is considered. So 7th house Mars in the Capricorn is still a Manglik dosha. What is the result of retrograde Maraka Jupiter in 3rd house? No, we are not discussing about Maraka here. Venus Mahadasha Lord if 12th house and Rahu Antardasha 11th house. Does it have a Venus Mahadasha Lord if 12th house and Rahu Antardasha Lord? No, no, it's not. Seashell, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Seashell, for joining this. And if you still have any question, you can always reach out to me. Do you think Jupiter and Moon in Cancer in the ninth does always give good results? Yeah, because it is into the sign of trine. But check out the nakshatras if you want to go deeper. Check out the nakshatras as well. Nishtha M. Sir, seventh lord retrograde in eighth house Cancer. Who is the seventh lord? Is Maraka retrograde Jupiter gives good? We talked about it, right? Okay. Anytime when Jupiter is retrograde, it becomes more like a Saturn. Okay. Then you also have to check for the lordship. That will give you an idea about what's happening with that Saturn. Yes, Dineshji. Tell me how I can help you. Sir, I have seventh lord Simran Kaur. Sir, I have seventh lord Moon in eighth house. In Maghapada too, please tell about it. Capricorn Ascendant. I've already made a video about Magha Nakshatra. You can go and check the second pada of that for Moon. Can we discuss mutual aspects of Atmakaraka and Amatyakaraka? Yes, most definitely. Anytime when there is a mutual aspect, there is an exchange of energies. It's more like an subtle conjunction is like an mutual aspect. And Atmakaraka and Amatyakaraka are the two self-defining factors of the Gemini Charakarakas. Okay, so Atmakaraka literally is about yourself, and Amatyakaraka is more related to your career. So when these two aspect each other, it shows that whatever you will do will be in sync with who you are. Okay, but for that you need to confirm this into the Karakamsha Lagna, like or the Swamsha of those planets in the Varga chart as well. But yes, it's an interesting combination. Thanks for asking this question. Hi, sir. For Libra Ascendant, Moon in first house, can I wear moonstone? Please don't wear any stones. Okay, they don't work. Okay, at least I don't recommend any gemstones. So yes. Pujan Subedi, great fan of your analysis, sir. Rahu in the fourth house, Leo sign, with Sun, Mars, Mercury in Taurus Ascendant. Amazing. So, what is your question around this? Happy to help you. Next is Mercury and Sun in the seventh house, Pisces Lagna. How will be my marriage? Can't say anything with just this information. Check the Dara Karaka, check the seventh house Lord. For Pisces Lagna, the seventh house Lord becomes Mercury. See the condition of Mercury. Check the moon. Check the seventh Lord from the moon. Check the condition of the seventh Lord Mercury in the D9 chart. And then you will have some idea about what's happening in your chart. Okay, check your dasha. Dasha is super important. Dinesh B. Venus, Mercury, Moon conjunction in the third house from Capricorn Ascendant. Venus is retrograde. Amazing. These three are, you know, most benefic planets. And they conjunct into the third house. Do you have any younger sibling? Please share your, uh, if you have any younger sibling. And don't get afraid of the Venus retrograde. Whenever a planet is retrograde, a retrograde planet becomes powerful. It increases its cheshta bala. Okay, there are 6 levels of strength to a planet. So one of the level of strength is the cheshta bala. So when planet goes retrograde, it increases the strength of that planet. Okay, whether it is good or bad, it has nothing to do with it is being retrograde. Retrograde just shows the strength. Now you have to analyze it with all other rules and interpretation, whether this planet is good for you or not during this time period. Super important. Okay, I hope this has helped. So don't worry about the Venus in retrograde. It simply shows that you will have to rethink about all your relationships, all your connections with everybody, not just the marriage relationship, but with everybody. What you are giving to others, what you expect, how you relate to others, all these things can be seen with Venus. And retrograde Venus will make you think about it. Okay, and it improves. Tina Gandhi ji, Cancer Ascendant, Ketu in the fourth house, Chitra Nakshatra. Okay, when you have Cancer Ascendant and Ketu in the fourth house, hello, yeah. So Ketu in the fourth house shows that you are upholding your emotions tight. The only advice I would give you is open your heart. And the word Chitra is an interesting word. Chitra literally means a picture, right? And that's why, there are the there is also one deity called as a Chitragupta who writes down everything, right? So this Chitra nakshatra is super important. It is the most balancing nakshatra among all the nakshatras because of its position. And this Chitra nakshatra is exactly opposite to that of Ashwini, and it's in the Libra, which is the balance. Okay, so for you, you have to balance your emotions. You have to open up. Okay, you have to open your heart and be yourself and do things which makes you happy. Okay, that's the key for you. Thank you, Pritan Justin. I have third house in Suns. Please, something talking about my horoscope. Okay. Do you have any question? Please share. We'll most definitely talk about it. Volver. Good luck, Brando. Yes, thank you. I didn't get you, but thank you. Okay. Is that a good? We already discussed this, right? Hello, CCG. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy you are here and joining this live stream. I'm praying for you. What's your question? Hi, friend. I have 3 planets in Pisces in 8th house, Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. How will this affect me with Pisces in Jupiter? So you have Pisces in the 8th house. So you have Leo Ascendant. Okay. You have 3 planets in the Pisces. Okay. Whenever you have uh, these planets in the 8th house, it simply shows that you are on the path of diving into that mystery of the 8th house. And it also shows that you will have some gains in your work. It, and this will come through counseling people, through helping people, right? Through helping people get away from certain situations, right? You might have some skills within you. You even may not realize that, but that might be helpful to other people, especially women. Okay, so I always believe that you have some message, share it with women, and you can help a lot of people to come out of the situation. This Jupiter is the planet of wisdom and the planet of expansion, and that goes into this eighth house of mystery and occult and mysticism. So now we have the guidance into the unknown, the guidance into the deep occult mystical sciences. So you'll be attracted towards the alternate healing, attracted towards the astrology, psychology, and all the hidden things in the life. Okay, most definitely I'm praying for your highest good and greatest growth so that you will find your path. And one more thing I want to tell you, CCG, you are appreciated, you are enough, and we all really love you. Okay, thank you for being in this stream. So let's move on to the next question. Hello sir, I'm Muslim but I don't want to know about horoscope when Venus but I want to know about horoscope when Venus in the first house. It is not possible to really uh, know anything about with just Venus in the first house. Okay, but Venus in the first house is the house of your body, is the house of uh, yourself and the way you look at life. Okay, so first thing you have to understand that there is an ascendant. So you will see some number into your chart into the first house. Okay, then you will see the planet. So when Venus is in the first house, it shows all the qualities of the Venus can be seen with this person. Okay, so you'll be compassionate and beautiful, and you will relate with other people with respect and love. Okay, so you have a knack of connecting with people. Okay, and there is much more to it, but just with Venus in the first house we can't really know more about it. Okay, but check your lagna, check your other planets, and you will know more about yourself. Okay, praying for your highest good. So, what are the effects of Ketu in the seventh house of Libra? I did that. I did that into the Ketu transit video. Okay, when for Aries Ascendant, it goes into the Libra sign. Jane Dallas, I have seventh Lord Moon in the eighth house. We talked about it, right? Yeah. Yes, we discussed this. Namaste, Guruji. In Libra Ascendant, this person should practice. I'm not a guru, okay? Don't call me guru. I'm far from being guru. I'm just your friend who is still learning astrology, is just few lessons ahead of you. That is it. Okay? So don't call me guru. Okay, in Libra Ascendant, Jupiter Ketu in the 12th house, aspected by the Saturn from the 6th house, Moon in Ashlesha, Venus in the 5th house for Libra. Okay, this person should practice astrology and spirituality. Now, check the placement of Mercury. Okay, Anil Mandorga. No, I don't smoke. Great. Never smoke. We already discussed this. Nishal Jain. First house Mars and third house Mercury Parivartan Yoga in Virgo Ascendant. Kindly explain this Parivartan Yoga. Not possible, sir. But you can go and check my Parivartan Yoga video. You will know more about it. We have explained that in detail. Whenever a Parivartan Yoga happens, there is an exchange between the significations of these houses. The first lord and the third lord. Third lord is the house of your self effort. First house is your self. Okay, so you have to bring in these two to make the interpretation. I'm in trying to pull for PSU electrical engineer job. When will I get a job? Meanwhile, I secure a decent score in human identity. which one to choose. I don't know. Okay, seriously, not possible to analyze it in this quick uh, session. Apologies. I'm just going through the questions. Okay, just a second. What happens when Jupiter is retrograde in the second house of Cancer? Okay, so when Jupiter goes into the second house of the Cancer ascendant, I suppose, it second house is the house of finances, and Jupiter is the planet of finances in a way, and a planet of expansion. It shows you will revise the way you invest, the way you look at money. It will change during this time. Can you tell me about the difference between fourth and the fifth Rahu? I'm still confused because those two seem similar in your, yes, and yeah, they are similar, more or less similar, because fourth house is the house of emotions and fifth house is the house of your emotions, not emotions. See, fifth house is the house of your heart. Okay, it is the third from the third house is the house of your hearts, like hobbies, your heartfelt wishes, and third from the third is your fifth house. Okay, so fifth and third house, fourth and fifth house are similar. So what confusion do you have? Please share. Happy to help. How does Sun Mars conjunction affect person in different houses and sign? We already discussed this in a separate video. So I'm just going through the questions. I think, I hope I'm not missed anything. Okay, let's do this. What is the impact of 7th and 12th Lord Mars and 8th and 11th Lord Jupiter debilitated conjunct in Capricorn 9th house? Would it cause divorce? No. Why would it cause divorce? 7th and 12th Lord Mars. See, even if you have the yoga for the divorce, it is with you, it is still with you since your birth, but it will only get activated and triggered during the dasha. Okay, so check the dasha and see how it relates with this. Also see the chara dasha. What happens when in Jupiter, Venus, Mars all in Pusha get aspected by Moon, Saturn from Capricorn? Does it afflict the Venus? Uh, Venus is Jupiter, Venus, Mars. Yeah, when it is connected, when Venus is conjunct with Mars and aspected by Saturn, it definitely is under pressure. Okay, so check the degrees of these planets and see which one are closer. Maybe Jupiter and Venus are closer, so Mars is not really conjunct or in loose conjunction, and Saturn is also not aspecting. See for those kind of scenarios. In Gemini Ascendant, Jupiter Venus conjunction in third house and Rahu in the seventh house, does it create problem in marriage life? No, it doesn't. Okay, we discussed this. We discussed this. So Rahu, Cancer sign in 11th house from Lagna, Virgo Ascendant. What impact it gives in income portion? It doesn't give any impact unless You have, you know, uh, the Rahu in the Cancer sign shows that you have to embrace the emotional side of your life. The Ketu in the Capricorn is a self-reliant, self-sufficient planet. So it doesn't really need any kind of boost when it comes to doing things. The emotional vulnerability is the key to work in this placement. I hope this has helped you. Yes, currently in Saturn Mahadasha with Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury in the eighth house of Capricorn. Any advice? I'm not able to visualize these many planets right now. Saturn Ketu conjunction in the seventh house, Virgo Ascendant. And seventh Lord Jupiter in the fourth house. I'm doing this business. What is your opinion? How do your lagnas impact you? D1, D9, Mrigashira. Most of lagna is the most, because lagna fixes all the planets and fixes the lordship of all the planets, right? Let's say you're born today, okay? Right now, today is 1st of April 2022, and you're born right now, okay? But at what time will decide what is the ascendant lord, whether that ascendant lord is exalted, debilitated, conjunction with the good planets, and so on. So yes, the nakshatra of the D1 also plays an important role. So when it is Mrugashira, Mrugashira is a nakshatra which shows curious mind. You know, the symbolism associated with Mrugashira nakshatra is that of deer, and that Mruga, the deer, is always looking for a soma. So it makes you a curious mind, always looking for information and solution. It shows that you are always looking for something, looking for a piece of information which you think is the ultimate information to fix your problems. Okay. And when it comes to Chitra, we talked about that nakshatra. Chitra is the literal meaning of the word Chitra is a picture. Okay. Chitra is a picture. So it shows the picture as in visualization as well. Okay. But Chitra literally means the picture of a person, not a person, but any time it's the picture. The meaning of the word Chitra is picture. Sir, I'm running hard financial situation. Currently, I'm pursuing PhD without any fellowship. When I can earn my money? You can earn your money anytime. I'm praying for your highest good and greatest growth. Okay. Kalidas Achumanesh. Sir, I have Mercury Ketu Sun in the eighth house. I'm Taurus Ascendant. How will be my Mercury Mahadasha from 2024? Okay, so the Mercury is ruling the, what is your ascendant? I have Mercury Ketu and I'm Taurus Ascendant. So Taurus Ascendant, Mercury is ruling the th- second and the fifth house of Virgo, and it is placed into the eighth house of Sagittarius, and is conjunct with Saturn, not Saturn, Sun and Ketu. What it shows is it shows you will be drawn towards a lot of occult and mystical things. It also shows that during the Mahadasha of Mercury, people will come to you to people will come to you to share their experiences. People will come to you to share their secrets with you. Shobita, sir, my seventh Lord Mercury in the ninth house. Jupiter, what's effect on my spouse? What is the condition of this? In the Jupiter house, the seventh Lord into the. Let me just stop sharing. Okay. So when you have seventh Lord into the ninth house is the house of your higher beliefs, which is the house of Bhagya. Okay, so your Bhagya is connected with your spouse. Okay, but at the same time you also have to check the dasha. Sometimes you have this placement, it means something but it never gets manifested, right? Let's say you have Mercury in the seventh house and in the ninth Lord Jupiter, and you're born with the Jupiter Mahadasha, or you're born with the Saturn Mahadasha, and your Mercury Mahadasha will be like after 2 years. It means nothing, right? Then you have to rely on the smaller time frames, the smaller Vimshottari Mahadasha, the Pratyantari Dasha of these planets. Some show Virgo rising, some show Aqua rising. I don't see it. It should not. It should not have this much difference. It can be like Leo Virgo or Virgo Libra. That is enough. That is fine. It won't be more than 25 degrees. Okay. So you just DM me. I will send you that birth chart. Okay, I'll send you that screenshot of your birth chart so that you will know what is your ascendant. Okay, just remind me right after this session. Email me. I will send it back to you. Veronica B. Sir, I have Sun in Dhanishta, Mercury in Shravana, conjunction in the second house for Sagittarius Ascendant, and also having Moon in the seventh house. What is the effect on married life? Sagittarius Ascendant, having Moon in the second house. Okay, where is Venus? Okay, that is most important. Check out the condition of the Venus. Sir, I have Venus in the Gemini third house, Aries Ascendant, Virgo Mars, Cancer Moon. Now, does Venus falls in third house as per Lagna or 12th house Venus as per Rashi? Some light on this. Okay, it is as per the houses. Okay. The number on your chart shows the Rashi and not the houses. Houses are always fixed. Yes, thank you. So, what was your question? What is the effect on married life? Yeah, Sun in I have Sun Mercury conjunction in the second house for Sagittarius Ascendant, and then it shows the delay in the relationship. Okay, but it is not denying it, but it is delaying the relationship. Venus in Scorpio sixth house. What are the effects? We already discussed this, I guess. Tell me about Karaka Tithi in Panchang. I've already made a video on all these Tithis and Karana and these things. Go and watch that video. Okay. Or let me just pull that. Okay, so hello on Tithi. You can go and check these video. So please tell me Rahu in 8th house, Taurus, Libra Ascendant. Okay, what about this? What would be the effect? Okay, got your point. Okay, so when you have this placement, it shows that you have to trust people. Okay, simple. Spurti Darpe. I'm a Capricorn ascendant with Saturn in the 9th house. Okay, currently running Saturn Mahadasha in Chitra Nakshatra. I'm a doctor. Will my consulting practice give me good result? Okay. This information is not enough to give you with timelines. Check the Mahadasha for that. Okay. Then you will have an idea what is the planet and what's happening with that Dasha Lord into your chart to see the rise in your career. Okay. And also the 10th house, 10th Lord. So Scorpio Ascendant, Sun, Mercury, and Mars in the 8th house. Can you kindly comment about this? Scorpio Ascendant, Sun, Mercury, Mars in the 8th house. Okay. What about that? Okay. So when you have this placement, it shows that people wants to know more about you. People are curious about you. They are, constantly looking for uh, what are you up to. Okay. And they will also share their secrets with you. So in my D1 chart, I have Revati Nakshatra, Rahu Moon in 2nd house, 7th Lord. How is my spouse Jupiter? Okay, for this you need to analyze the chart in detail. Okay, so please tell about Saturn Ketu conjunction in 7th house for business, Virgo Ascendant. Just don't just rely on this one placement for business or career. You know, look for the 10th house, 10th Lord. Look for the 10th Lord in the D1, in the D10, and so on. That will give you a better idea. Okay, so yes, this was the live Q&A session for this Friday. We will see you next Friday with another live session, uh, to connect with you guys. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me in the comment section. And keep watching the Pramanic Astrology. Share my work with people who love astrology. Also, check out my live training on my website for 3 hours and start your journey into. Thank you. Namaste.